It's a very important subject. It's called Flint, about the Flint, Michigan water scandal. And I was struck by first of all, it's wonderful. It's directed by Bruce Beresford, who I did Bonnie and Clyde with. Same producers, Neil and Craig, Neil Marin, Craig Zaden, who are just prolific and wonderful guys and amazing talent. And I'm so proud of it because it's a story that needs to be told. Even though, it was in the news, but the extent of what happened was, at least for me, mind altering because it was so deep and went on for so long, and these people were so affected by it. So I'm quite proud of it. We just finished it and it's coming out soon, and I hope everyone can see it.
How do you musicalize a subject of that nature? What did you have to do?
Well, it's a great question in the sense of, as a composer, I always have to find sort of the key to unlock the door of what the tone should be. And in the case of Flint, on the surface, you've got this horrific story about these families of, all these families that have gone through this really terrible lead poisoning, is what it was, and other carcinogens that were in the water, through government bureaucracy that didn't care. And so it was a toughie in that I had to find the right tone. One of the things that I realized early on was that we don't know a lot about Flint, but Flint was the hub of the automaking industry back in the day. And it's now, with the auto industry really leaving there, I wouldn't say it's a depressed area, but it's not a thriving area. So I wanted to try to musically express the idea of that these are real people, that have important lives and families, and there's a community there. And what happens in this miniseries is that this community comes together, these disparate families, and they band together to fight for clean water, against the city. And it was quite the cause célèbre. I mean, as you know, in the news. But I didn't know the extent of it. So what I created musically was a theme that would represent the families, and it's sort of it had to be very emotional because there's a lot of facts that come in and out of this thing, and you're bombarded with, levels of lead and stuff. But I had to always hopefully ground it in an emotional place to represent these families. And I'm happy to say they seem to like what I've done, and I think that the show is really terrific.